Well, we often talk about increased inflation, but how much more are the items you're buying actually costing?
We sent Fox 9's Leah Bino on a grocery run, updating a similar Fox 9 experiment from 2 years ago. And the results could surprise you.
All right, for today's assignment, we're taking my minivan and we're going grocery shopping. What we're doing is my old coworkers have some receipts from their groceries back in 2020 and 2022. We're taking those receipts and comparing them to today's prices in 2024. So we'll be stopping at Cub, Hy-Vee, and Target to see how the prices compare. Let's go shopping.
Across the separate lists from 3 different stores, some priced online, we shopped 60 total available items, ranging from produce to laundry detergent. 10 came down in price from 2022, 11 had no change, and 39 increased in price. Based on this list, the Cub Foods in White Bear Lake had the biggest increase, 52% from 2020, 16% from 2022. Next, Target in Plymouth, up 17% from 2 years ago. And our Hy-Vee list of items was up just 5% from 2 years ago.
It's almost like a whack-a-mole game.
For Joe Redden, professor of marketing analytics at the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management, this is his area of expertise. Inviting us into his home kitchen to look over our list, he noticed between 2020, coming out of the pandemic, to 2022, no surprise, prices took a massive increase. While most are still rising, it's no longer across the board and very much depends on what's on your shopping list. Prices of soup, for example, on our list even went down or stayed steady at Cub.
Which makes some sense, right? If I had one really big price change before, well, now I don't need as big of an increase now. The companies are all struggling with that too. They're trying to figure out, with all the inflation, because they're paying a lot more for both their employees to make the product, for the raw materials they need, for the interest they have to pay on their factories. I mean, all these things are going up, and they're certainly going to pass through some of that cost to the customers.
Shrinkflation is still a thing. Slightly fewer ounces of a given product might prevent a price from rising to the next dollar point. Redden points out, while many might find it annoying, if you're on a fixed budget, it might actually be helpful. Plus, it's the price per ounce we should all be paying the closest attention to.
If I've only got $10 left to spend this month on groceries, and now the package is $5 instead of $7, that may be a good deal for me. There's kind of an assumption that when I buy a larger quantity, it's going to be cheaper per unit. Not always true.
Foods with a shorter shelf life, such as fresh produce, meats, eggs, will forever have the greatest price swings. For meats, we saw a 57% increase in price comparing 2024 to 2020 and a 12% increase from 2 years ago. But for fruit, just a 10% and 5% increase over the years. Now the egg market, it's still healing from the bird flu outbreak from 2022, greatly reducing the number of chickens and the nation's egg supply. There's no way of getting around the ripple effect from that one ingredient alone and the price impacts on your recipes and other products.
But unfortunately for those, it's harder. It's not like when eggs are really cheap, I can just buy, 3 months worth.
So what does Redden do in his own household and suggests for saving on grocery bills? First, he frequently conducts taste tests with his family and his students, comparing name brand products to store brands. Many are often shocked how often they can't tell the difference and start purchasing the cheaper option.
So I know for us, ice cream doesn't matter, and kettle chips doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
They're all the same.
Next, look for substitutions, especially when it comes to proteins, and let the lower price option guide your meal planning.
Maybe this week, instead of sausage, I'm going to buy the chicken. Maybe next week I'm going to flip it. Maybe bacon's really expensive now.
Finally, pay attention to prices as much as you can while shopping multiple stores. Each have different strategies as far as how they price their items, what days of the week prices might change. Prices within the same chain often vary by location and can be different online compared to in the store.
I think what this is telling us in this data is there's so much variance. And so it's really hard to just take a snapshot and get a clean picture ever, because price is constantly moving and constantly changing.
Thus why discount stores such as Walmart and Aldi are growing in popularity and notoriously cheaper. Redden shops them all.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the next time someone did this, you might see certain ones that go down, because we have seen, for instance, some of the manufacturing wages seem to be abating a bit, and so maybe some of that gets passed through.
Leah Bino, Fox 9.
Yeah, look carefully at those prices, and good luck out there.